You've seen him at the local gym, the one who arrives at 5:30 a.m. and moves with a quiet, terrifying precision that the 20-somethings can't quite replicate. He doesn't have the flashy gear or the social media desperation, but there is a weight to his presence, a sense that he is finally, for the first time, playing a game where he knows all the rules. Most people look at a man who finds his stride at 54 and assume he just got lucky or finally found a low-stress routine, but they couldn't be more wrong. The truth is far more jagged. These men aren't strong because they avoided the storm. They are strong because they stayed in it until the storm ran out of breath. For the first 4 decades of a man's life, he is essentially an apprentice in the art of wearing a mask. Carl Jung suggested that this first half of existence is dedicated to fitting in, to adopting the persona the world demands, and to checking off the boxes of usefulness. You spend your 30s in a cubicle or on a job site, feeling a vague, persistent sense of existential misalignment, like walking miles in shoes that are just a fraction too small. You aren't lazy and you aren't failing. In fact, you might be quite successful, but there is a low-grade friction beneath everything you do.
This is the era of the yes man. You pick up every phone call, you agree to every social obligation, and you swallow your anger to keep the peace because you've confused being useful with being loved. You tell yourself that your kindness is your greatest virtue, but deep down, it's often just a lack of boundaries that people have been exploiting for years. But while you are performing this version of yourself, your body is keeping a different set of books. The ambition you buried so you wouldn't seem arrogant, and the frustration you silenced so you wouldn't seem difficult don't just vanish, they go underground. This internal pressure builds for years, manifesting as a fatigue that no amount of sleep can fix, and a sudden, inexplicable inability to focus on the things that used to matter. You feel stuck, but that paralysis is actually the final stage of a psychological cocoon. The turn rarely happens on a sunny afternoon when everything is going right. It almost always requires a collapse. For some, it's the year that nearly breaks them, the kind of year where simply standing up in the morning feels like a monumental achievement. It might be a health scare that forces you to realize you've been treating your own body like an abandoned property, or a moment of clarity at a daughter's wedding, where you realize you've put your entire life on hold for a man you don't even like. This is what Jung called the dark night, the period where the old version of you has died, but the new version hasn't yet introduced himself. Many men try to run from this feeling by staying busy or distracted, which is exactly why they never change. But the man who stays in that darkness, who actually sits with the wreckage of his previous life, comes out the other side with a different kind of power.
When he returns to the gym in his 50s, it's no longer a performance. In his 20s, he trained because he was afraid of being invisible or because he wanted to impress a partner. Now, he trains because he is genuinely curious about what his physical vessel is still capable of doing. There is no ego in his movement, only interest. His social life undergoes a similar radical pruning. He starts saying no to things he doesn't want to do, not with a defensive 10-minute explanation, but with a simple, calm finality. He discovers with genuine shock that the world doesn't end when he stops being a doormat. He reaches out to old friends he hasn't spoken to in a decade, not because it's scheduled, but because he finally understands that honest connection is more valuable than professional networking. This late-life strength is built on a foundation of losses that would have leveled a younger man. By 50, he has likely been fired and realized it didn't kill him. He has had his heart broken, not the shallow sting of youth, but the deep structural heartbreak of midlife, and he started over from nothing. He has lost parents and seen the finish line of his own life. He knows exactly what matters now, which makes him the most dangerous person in any room. A man who has nothing left to prove and no fear of being seen for exactly who he is.
The wins that come in this phase, the career peaks, the financial stability, the self-respect, tend to go much further than the early victories because they are earned through authenticity rather than performance. He isn't trying to be the man he was supposed to be. He is finally the man he actually is. If you are currently in the middle of that dark night, feeling like you've missed your shot or that the pressure is too much to bear, remember that no man ever truly finds his strength on a good year. That numbness and that weight aren't signs of the end. They are signs that the mask is finally cracking. You aren't falling behind. You are simply building the foundation for a version of yourself that your younger self wouldn't even recognize. True strength isn't about how much you can carry when things are easy. It's about who you become after the world has taken everything you thought you needed and you're still standing. If this resonated with you, take a moment to look at where you're still saying yes when your soul is screaming no. The turn starts the moment you stop pretending. Subscribe for more deep dives into the psychology of the second half of life, and let us know in the comments, what was the dark night that finally made you stronger?